Oh, good, it's working. Doop dee doop dee doop dee doop. Boom boom. Beep boom beep boom beep boom. Well, it's worth trying, I guess. All right. Bring it up. All right. Bring it up. Here we are on eccentric nature, waiting for the people to show up. Do we have anybody home yet? Hopefully we will soon. 'Cause I'm here to chat with you. Ooh. That's, yeah, it's funny how there's a delay on this thing. I'm playing it while I'm on here. And there's like, I come through like an extra 20 seconds late. It's funny. But hey, that's okay. I'm back here. I think I'm all live and working. Everything looks good to me. Tried something different today to see if I can get some music to play. And it was playing, but it apparently started, and then I couldn't get it to restart again after it. It's yeah, it's another thing I'm trying to figure out. It's all good in the hood, as it would. What's going on in the world? Anybody home? Somebody say, hey. Hey, my wife's got it. She's doing ironing in the background. High tech life here. Woohoo! Oh yeah. Dun 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 dun. Ah. Dun 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 dun. Ah. I only have so much room, so I have to keep my moves really small. Oh yeah, the tea is flowing. The people are showing up. Oh, good. Excellent. How are we all doing today? We are talking today about what it is really like being an actor. I got a few herb updates I can throw your way as well, which is really cool. So, but yes. Woohoo. I like my little thumbnail. It's pretty. Woohoo. Okay, going back. How do I do it faster? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Still figuring this out. So, OBS. It's an odd machine. I'm still getting there. I'll figure it out eventually. How's everybody doing today? Having a good day? Feeling good? I sure hope so. Okay. So, right, so let's talk about the current, what's going on with the channel at the moment. I've actually started doing and jumping into the top 10 world. The videos, like lots of people like doing those top 10 this and that. Well, I'm doing a couple of those. So I'm doing, but I actually went 15 on my first one because I'm crazy like that. And the first one is the top 15 herbs for anxiety. So I did a full-on video for that. And then following that up with the top 10 herbs for sleep, which I did like a full live stream, which covered a lot more than I'm covering in the short video version. But it's snazzy, it's pretty, and it's worth watching anyway. So then I'm going to be covering a little bit of chicory root action after that, which will be fun. I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, it's going to be cool. So hope you guys join me for each one of those. So coming out as always on Sundays, somewhere around 5 or 6 p.m. on Greenwich Mean Time, London time. So, yep. Woo! Into the light. Whee. Here we are. Everybody's out on a walkabout today or something. Everybody's out having fun today, enjoying the world. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Well, what do we do then? Hey, Liz is here. Liz, you're here, but I'm not sure where everybody else is hiding, so I can talk to you about this. Usually get this is why I do the live stream at this time, and usually I get like a lot of people around this time, but for some reason everybody's hiding out today. I don't know why. So glad to see you're here. Thank you so much for showing up. So yeah, main thing I was planning on talking about today was just having fun, talking a little bit about what it's like being a professional actor, because officially I am a professional actor. And basically, I think first of all, just to tell the people who don't know what that means, essentially, being a working actor or a professional actor, I mean, essentially you can be a professional actor and not be doing anything with it. But to be a working actor, an actual working actor, means that you are earning your primary income from acting. And you may end up doing other stuff as well just to help supplement your income, but your primary resource income is coming from acting. And that is me. I am a working actor. Most of my income does come from acting or other arts-related jobs. So, yes, I am a working actor, so I can talk about this. But and my wife's the same way. She gets her primary income all from various arts, acting and so on and so forth, voiceover work, and various other things. Yes, but what we know about this is that, a lot of people have these preconceived notions about what it's like, having this life. And this, they're generally the thing you always get the most from people when you say, "Oh, I'm an actor," they're like going, "Oh, that must be hard. It's gonna be so hard." It's like, it's not any harder necessarily than any other profession. I mean, I don't think of it in that way. I mean, that's just maybe I'm lucky that way, that I keep a good mindset about it. It's just definitely part of the game. You have to have a real good mindset to become a good working actor and have it work for you consistently over the years. So that's one of the first things that you have to do, is learn how to have the right mindset to deal with the things that are out there. It's just that the things we deal with are so much different than the average working 9-to-5 job. Okay, that is what's different about us. So you're saying your daughter's an actress in our city, she's part of our young performance community. How would she get more and to get more get noticed and get more opportunities? It's not coming out for some reason. Yeah, I'm definitely going to get into that. Part of what it takes to get noticed and out there is to build your presence in various ways, and that's a lot of what my job is. It's what I think that a lot of actors don't realize when they're first starting up, and we didn't realize this when we moved over here. We came over here just about 9 years ago now, and we had been like semi-professional. I'd been working in the Alaska theater scene, which is just semi-professional, low to no pay. And so you get a little bit of money for some jobs, but really, for the most part, it's not professional acting, because you have to have a full-time job to keep yourself going in addition to your theater work or your film work that's going up there. And we did have like some full-on films come up there. For some reason, On Frozen Ground is turned up to be #1 on Netflix recently, and that's was all shot in Alaska. John Cusack film. And there's a couple of other ones that were all shot up there. The John Krasinski, Drew Barrymore film, Big Miracle. It was actually based on a true story about some whales that got caught in some ice up there, and they helped free them out. And then there's a couple others that were up there. There was the Baby Geniuses 3, which I was in, the Baby Investigators Squad. That came up and filmed all of its production up in Alaska, and there's a couple others as well in addition to those that we had a nice film bill for like 5 years up in Alaska, and that brought up a lot of projects to us that actually let us get some nice professional credits before we even came over here, which was wonderful. But we realized after we got to a certain point, it's like, yeah, we can be the big dogs in this small market, and I think that's what they say about a lot of actors is like, do you want to be the big dog in a small market and just rule your market, or do you want to go into a bigger market and just be another one of the fish, and maybe if you're really lucky, or you are that driven, or you are that perfect being that gets seen just right, that you become a star, you know. And that's not, but at the end of the day, that isn't what I shoot for and what a lot of actors shoot for. Good working actors, the main idea is that you are just getting plenty of work to keep your income going and keep your life happy and keep you able to do the things that you want to do. And it's not like you're trying, it's like we all try and like increase our income and grow things in different ways like that. So yeah, we're always looking to ways to do that, and we have been since we've been over here. We've steadily increased our income more and more, so that we've been able to drop off other things. Like we started off doing extra work here in the UK when we moved over, and we've since stopped doing that because we don't need to anymore. I mean, it kind of feels like with COVID, like we need to do more stuff right now, but we don't necessarily. Like lots of little things along those lines, which is great. So let me go back anyways to what got us over here from Alaska was that whole impetus. It was like we said, okay, well, we're not entirely happy where we're at. So we do want to just try it. We want to go out to a bigger community and see what it's like and see if we can make something of it. And we, being Americans, we of course first thought, should we go to LA or New York? At the time, Atlanta was kind of starting to emerge. Seattle was a market, but it was more a theater market, and I really wanted to get into film, TV, on-screen stuff. And my wife luckily had come over to the UK for like 6 months as part of her undergraduate degree when she was going to Vassar. And because of that, we had, luckily her parents were born, her dad was born over here as well, and we had the opportunity to make it over here. And so yeah, I ended up coming over and doing my master's degree as my initial way to come over, and then from there we switched it over to us being on the same visa and so on and so forth. And so now we're able to stay here as long as we want because we're on indefinite leave to remain, and we can become citizens if we want as well. So that is really nice to have in our pocket. But how it's all worked out, Liz, is that one of the things that you have to do primarily as an actor when you're first getting started is you don't realize. A big key, I think, for actors is that they don't realize they need this. They need to learn how to market themselves. Marketing is so important as an actor. There are so many lousy actors out there that are doing well because they know how to market themselves. Okay? we get up in arms about this sometimes a lot because of the fact that it's like, oh gosh, there you go to watch these films. I'm like going, I could play these roles. I could play that role better. I could play that role better. and you see stuff like that. I know friends who can play that better. I know these people who can play that better. And even, not being just, you're not being vainglorious about it or anything. It's a matter of just, honest appraisal of my own work. That's another thing that you have to learn how to do is just honestly know how to have an eye for your own work and critique it properly, because a lot of actors are like, no, I don't want to see myself, and you can get away with that, I think, but I think if you really want to get good, it's much better if you are able to watch yourself and really learn how to pay attention to the nuances and be able to compare yourself to other actors and say, yeah, I'm doing those things that those successful people are doing, and I am looking good on the screen. and I am hitting the angles correctly, and I am looking at the right spot, you know, off the camera, and you can see my face, and I'm not like doing this when the camera is on me. I'm just off the camera. People can fully see me, and you know, stuff like that, where you learn all those little tricks that you in order to, you know, portray yourself best on film. And I think the only way to perfect those is by watching yourself a lot. So that's another nice trick to learn how to do as well if you're looking to go into film or TV or any of the other media arts as compared to theater. So, and there are tricks that are just the same for theater. So you have to, I mean, you have to learn both sides. And, you know, obviously there are professional actors who are just pure film, TV, never touch the stage. But there are plenty who have, you know, started on the stage and moved over, or the other way around. Yeah, it is the same for content creators as well. I mean, as a content creator, you are learning certain acting skills. You really are. And that's part of another reason I think talking about this is relevant, is that a lot of what I do, and I have brought to my channel naturally, luckily, is I've already had that ahead of the game, which I think made things a little bit easier on me in some ways. But at the end of the day, my channel only grows so fast because it's only a matter of how much I can market it, you know? And it's the same thing with my career. My career only grows so fast as a matter of how much I can market myself well. And part of what that is, and part of what you end up doing on a day-to-day basis as an actor, is you learn to follow certain key figures. So you decide, okay, over here, one of my goals was to be on Doctor Who, which I now have done. Yay! And so what I did was I made a small list of like, okay, these are some of the prevalent casting directors or directors or producers that I know are on Instagram or I know are on Twitter. And Facebook doesn't really work that way because it's, you know, it's much harder to follow someone on Facebook and not seem like a creepy stalker. So it's much easier to be on a social media platform like Twitter or Instagram or one of the others, and following one of the industry professionals. So, but what you do is you follow them and you just look at their stuff, and kind of like you do here on YouTube, where you'll look at one of their posts, and if you can find something to comment about, you'll say a nice comment about it. Or if they ask you to like it and retweet it, you like it and retweet it. And just, you know, you get in their notice, you get in their vision, and you keep yourself there, you know, as long as you can. And I never got confirmation from them because it's not something that you're going to ask right out on the day. You know, I'm not going to go up to the casting director and say, hey, did you notice me because of Twitter or Instagram? I would never do that. That to me seems really crass. You know, some people may have the gumption to pull that off, but it's not me. So, but I'm pretty darn sure that I ended up getting the Doctor Who role because of the fact that I had been noticed because of my social media. Okay. And there was something I did recently that I ended up doing an audition because of my social media. So, I mean, this channel here, my Twitter account, my Instagram account are all put together because they help market me. I, you know, hadn't even thought of Twitter or Instagram, or barely had thought of YouTube before I became a professional actor. I mean, I had not even really considered starting a YouTube channel. I hadn't really even started considering doing an Instagram account by any means. And I hadn't even considered, you know, Twitter, same way. I was like, Twitter? Okay. I still am baffled by that platform. But the main thing is that that's what I do, is I kind of like with here, I'll put a follow and the bell notification on Twitter for certain key figures that I want to get noticed by. And then whenever I can, you know, comment on their feed and stuff. Like there's a couple of directors I've been following for a while that I try and comment on them as much as I can. Thanks, Jeannie. I really appreciate it. Good to see you. Support as much as you can. Good to have you here. Woohoo! We've got a couple other people apparently hiding in the background because it says there's 5 online now. Woohoo! But yeah, and if you guys haven't seen them yet, check out Liz, check out Jean and Jeannie. I keep wanting to say Janine for some reason. Check out Jeannie Lynch, and yeah, they got great channels. Support them if you want to. There's another thing I was thinking about doing with this was like just doing a little bit of a, you know, shout out, one of those things like a lot of channels do. But for me, that's one of those things where it's like I only do that if I honestly want to connect with someone, and I I have like anytime someone that gets on my channel, even if it's obviously someone from, you know, India or a foreign country that I don't really understand them and I can tell they're writing in a second language, and then I go to their YouTube channel and it's all in another language, I will go and still watch one of their videos just to be like, yes, you came to my channel, I'll look at that. Um, mm, but yeah, for the most part, I won't follow through after that, other than the fact if I am really happy to connect with someone and I like what they're putting out and I enjoy their presence, or their content is really engaging for me. So, um, but yeah, getting back to what you do for acting, yes, fun Q&A was fun last time. Yeah, last time you did that on your channel, yeah, for a live stream. So that's another thing I was just thinking, just because it's like one of the main reasons for the live stream is to get my watch hours high enough so I can get monetized. Um, yeah. Shout out people who send questions. So I'll have to add that into like the community tab or something to say, hey, send me some questions and then we'll answer them. Yeah, good idea. But yeah, some of the things that you have to do. So this is stuff for your daughter, Liz. Is if you're in a certain community, so wherever you're at there, you either get to know the people who are in that community and know who the movers and shakers are there, or if there's like a bigger one close by. I'm not sure what city you guys are closest to. Is it Toronto or Vancouver or where? I'm not sure which side of Canada you guys are at exactly. I know you're in Canada. I don't know where. But like, let's say it's just one of those big centers. So like if you're, that has lots of filming up there. But Calgary, okay. So I'm not sure how much filming there is in Calgary itself. But yeah, you go to, you know, the big city that's closest by, and then you go, okay, who are the casting directors in that town? What are the main film projects that tend to film out of there? Like, I know there's very specific TV series that always film out of Vancouver in BC. Yeah. So you just find out what things that normally go there, and you know who those producers are, who those directors are. You find all those things, and then you try and see if you can find them on a social media platform like Instagram or Twitter and follow them, and just honestly engage with them, just like you would on YouTube. You don't go on there and be like, "Hi, please look at me, please look at my stuff." You know, no, you go in there and say, "Oh, that was a cool thing you said," or like, "Yeah, I'm just like that," and you just honestly engage on their thing enough that you get noticed by them, and maybe they'll talk back to you eventually. But for the most part, you just keep putting stuff out there in order to be noticed, just so it gets noticed. And like I said, this is the part of marketing that can just be very tiring and very frustrating sometimes, because it's like, you know, you just have to keep going on every day, you know, for part of your day, 15, 30 minutes, an hour each day, where you just go onto social media, whether you want to or not, because it's part of our job that you have to go on there and you have to keep building that following and you have to keep, you know, connecting with those people. And at the end of the day, is the same thing that you do with the YouTube channel, where it's like you have to keep going on and keep watching other people's videos and connecting with people and engaging with them, to keep that community growing and keep the community, you know, in the community's eye. Because if they forget about where you being there, then you've lost another viewer that's going to be there for you all the time. So, nice to see you, Brainstorm Makers. Glad we could get you at least for a little bit of a while. We have to take off and love you. Oh, no! We hope we can get the great acting parts to come your way. Oh, yes. Me too. I mean, yes, it obviously has been very quiet with COVID going on, and filming for a lot of things still hasn't really started to back up yet. There is still lots of voiceover stuff out there, because that's a lot easier for people to do from home. And some projects have managed to do filming, but there are still a lot that haven't really started full filming again. So, yeah, I mean, I auditioned for a couple things, and then for some reason it kind of stopped again. So, yeah, I'm kind of, you know, at this point expecting that maybe it'll be the end of the year before things really kicking again, and 2020 is just going to be a complete wash, at least since March. But but that's why marketing is so important, because I had come off of a couple of really big projects, and I was expecting those and the momentum from that to help catapult me up into the next range of roles or the next level of projects, to get noticed by some bigger people, to get in some bigger doors, and to get some, you know, more screen time essentially. And that's, you know, one of the big things you need to get is always trying to get a little bit more on time. Nice to see you, over 50 and fabulous. Oh, I'm sorry, fantabulous. Fantabulous. Yes, lovely. But it's just an incremental game, and that's how you have to play it. Yes, I mean that's why we as working actors know that there is no such thing as an overnight success. There is that rare case like Orlando Bloom, that fresh out of school, he gets plucked up into Pirates and then the Lord of the Rings series, and boom, 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 he's successful. And I think Alan Cumming was the same way. But even with that, it's like, you know, a lot of times with those people, sometimes they still have been acting as kids since they were like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, or, you know. So it's, you know, isn't necessarily an overnight success. They still have actually been training for 10, 15 years before they even got to the point of graduating. So, you know, overnight successdom is like, just like here on YouTube, isn't something that happens. It was not PewDiePie, it was that other guy, but like Mr. Beast, I think, had been on YouTube for 5 years before he suddenly blew up and went insane. So, yeah, it's just like everything else, and that's what everything I've done as far as my acting career, even when I was in a semi-professional world, has been around playing the long game. And that's what I always try and do, is I always try and play the long game for things, and be like, okay, if you're determined enough, if you're perseverant enough, if you just go, okay, if I just keep putting out the quality content, if I just keep that upper level of top echelon quality going out there that people want to connect with, and I learn how to do the marketing, and I learned all those extra skills that I need to do that make YouTube perfect, and then I will eventually have the channel grow. And, you know, before I know it, it's going to be 5,000, it's going to be 10,000, and probably, you know, bigger and bigger. And just because, as a matter of time, it's going to get there. And one of the things I keep using to remind myself is I have, I think, 3, 4, 5 videos that are now suggested videos by YouTube. And the first one of those, my Sage Tea video, which is my biggest video on my channel. You look at my channel, that one by far has the most views because it's suggested. And that's why my whole game right now is about trying to get suggested. And again, that's kind of what it is like as an actor. As an actor, that's what I try and do. I try and go, okay, who do can I focus in on that can get me in a door, that can get me just the right kind of roles for me, or that is casting for a series that I know is perfect for my casting type. So they can get me in that door, and as long as I get a chance, I know I've got a good shot at it. So I do the same thing here on YouTube. It's like, okay, now that I know suggested videos has been the most successful thing for my channel, then I go, okay, how can I prime each one of my videos as I put them out to possibly be a suggested video somewhere else? So I've been looking at a lot of stuff recently to try and figure out how to do that properly. And I do the exact same thing with my acting. So Nick Picks, nice to see you. Daughter is 18. She started acting at 5 and been on stage and getting the applause she loves, but found being in control and being a stage manager was overall more satisfying. Yeah. And a lot of actors will do that too. I mean, there are a lot of people who are natural techies and will start off that and end their career as that and never flip over. But there are a lot of actors too who think they want to do acting because they love the acting world. But then as they get into it, they're like, no, I actually like this more, or like that more. And there's lots of former actors who are casting directors, and they're fabulous casting directors. So, you know, it happens, you know, all the time. Janine asks if she could see some of my characters. Hey, let's bring up my show reel. How about that? There's something I can do. I can bring up my show reel. So, since I've got this wonderful OBS system here, that I've been learning how to do, I can now do that if I can like type properly and actually make it look correctly. I'm trying to be anal at the same time and actually title my thing correctly here. So show reel. Now I'm going to add a source from a media source. And this is going to be my show reel file. Woohoo! Okay. So browse local files. Let's find Eric's show reel. Oh, those are Rachel's show reels. I could show you my wife's show reels apparently. Where am I? Is this my most recent one? Yes, it is. Okay, there we go. You guys ready for this? This is me acting. This is just so what a show reel is, before I put this out here, let you know exactly what this is, okay? A show reel is essentially what should be around 2 to 3 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. Some of the big middle tier actors will put out long 5 to 7 minute ones, and then they'll just have their agent say, hey, just watch this part of the reel or something like that. So they'll put out bigger scenes because they've been in with named actors and stuff like that. But for most of us regular actors, you want to do a show reel that's about 2 to 3 minutes long, and it has your best work on it as much as possible. You want to have high quality footage that looks like it has been done for a professional project. So even if you've started off doing short films, you want to try and get short films that are shot in as high as quality as possible. So when you're first getting started, it looks just like any other professional project, and and that's what's important, so they can see you well and they can hear you well. But this is basically, you'll notice that they're all just short bits of scenes. So there's no like full-length scenes in any of these here. It's just like the highlight reel, essentially, of the best bits that can show you, okay, here's me doing this style of acting, this style of acting, this type of character, or that type of character. So that's the whole purpose of a show reel. So let's see if I can get this to come up here.
Explosion again. Now, I ain't taking the kids back up there until it's safe.
Hey, sorry, ma'am, there ain't no smell of gas.
Hey, ain't that Holt Ferrier, the stallion star?
Hey, ain't you Holt Ferrier?
He died in the war. So sad.
All right, sit down! Go! I said, sit down!
The trail is still cold. We will offer a very handsome reward and guarantee of no further harassment to anyone with information leading to the capture of the book.
I was a twisted little man and a herder. She was broken by it, by me. So she left. Rightly so. Goddamn burger flippers can never get anything right. I asked for no fucking onions.
Just take them out.
Take them out. You shouldn't have to take them out. It's like, damn, it's like she woke up this morning thinking, what can I do to fuck up someone's day today? Interesting. Makes about as much sense as your outfit.
What do you have for us so far?
Only that we've been unable to reset the Glockenspiel. And that by leaving this statue behind the thief is daring us to catch him.
This guy's got anger issues.
He taunts us!
He needs to chill out.
Okay, so there it is. Woohoo! I'm going to switch back over here. Kaboom! All right. What do you guys think? Not too bad? Okay, so yeah, that's basically a show reel right there. So it shows you in your best light doing the type of roles that you're really good at as much as possible. And the whole point is that you, yeah, anger issues. Well, I mean that's part of what what I get hired for is bad guys. So yes, I have to show myself looking mean and angry sometimes. So that yeah, as you can see, I set up the reel for the purpose of kind of showing my best characters, but you also try and show a range. So like I had the one scene that showed me being a little more sensitive, a little more vulnerable. Had the one scene being completely angry. Another scene, being, a bit of a racist jerk cop. And, yeah, each a little bit of comedy in there as well. And then some of the more famous stuff at the top to be like, yes, I've been cast in these great projects, so you can cast me in this too and be safe. So it's like, yeah, all little things that are all targeted to get the casting director or the director on your side so they see that you are a good quality actor and they can trust and hire you without any reservations and that they know you're going to do the job properly. So, yeah, that is the whole reason of a show reel, is to get you seen by the right people and so they can see your work and see that you can do quality work. So, yeah, so as an actor, it's one of the first things you really need to get together is get together a good show reel or a good voice reel. If you're wanting to do voiceover work, you have to put together a really good voice reel in order to make sure that you're doing that kind of work properly. So, yeah, as far as otherwise moving into a new community, I think the main thing is that you just need to know what you're getting yourself into. You have to know the community you're going to a little bit if you can. If you can necessarily go somewhere that has contacts for you already, that's a really good thing to have. Is actually already know people are in the business. But for me personally, Brainstorm Makers, my ideal parts are the power figures or are the bad guys. So I definitely get cast best as being the people who are in control of things. So, and that's, the bad guys tend to be those kind of characters a lot of times anyways. So it's like, but any kind of power figure along those lines. So the cops, the FBI, judges, lawyer type things, all those kind of things along those areas is all stuff that's good for me and helps me out. So it's kind of stuff that I can do pretty easily and know that I can be successful at it. So, yeah. Trying to think what else. I think when it comes to acting, as it were, I think the one of the skills that you got to do is obviously, training is important, but that doesn't necessarily have to happen through a school. I think a lot of times it does, and that's perfectly fine. But you can essentially learn the job on the job a lot of times and just go and start filming projects and start being busy with a lot of that. And that is perfectly okay in my book. There's as long as you are out there and you are doing something to keep working on your skills, then that's what's important. So if you can always be on a short film or always be, working on some kind of project, and that's part of the reason I have this going, is it's basically is always working my skills, that I'm always doing something for camera every week. I'm writing every week. I'm editing every week. I mean, I'm doing sound design every week now. So, yeah, it's I'm fully immersed in the acting world every single week because of my YouTube channel. And while, yes, it'd be nice to actually be filming other projects and things like that too, it still keeps my skills, sharpened. It's of course, you always want to be pushing your skills so you can feel more comfortable when those, emotional scenes come up where you may need to cry or you may need to express other heavy emotions. But you know, at the end of the day, as long as you're doing something to keep yourself active and keep yourself going, then that is what's important and part of what you have to do on a daily basis as an actor. And that's what part of my life is. That's why I devote so much time to the YouTube channel, because of the fact that it does afford me the ability to continue working on my skills and also work on my marketing that gets me seen by more people, and at the end of the day maybe can get me a job, because social media is part of that. There are jobs that show up. One of the other ways that you get work as an actor is they have several different websites here in the UK and the United States, and probably in Canada as well. But Actors Access in the United States may actually cover Canada too. I think it does. So, like, you know, Liz, you could have your daughter look at Actors Access, and there's a couple other websites as well. But I have a couple different websites that I go to here in the UK, and I'll go to them every single day, and they will post jobs. One of the big ones over here is Spotlight, and if you have an agent, generally you leave Spotlight alone to your agent, but you may still go on there anyways and just nudge your agent if you see a job that's perfect for you. So, but otherwise, what you're always doing is you're always essentially, that's, I guess, is why people think of it as a hard life, is you're always interviewing for new jobs. So in the regular world, you get hired for your job and you do your job for however long until you quit that job. Well, you know, unless you get hired on a recurring role of a TV series, or hired for a film that films for 3 years, essentially you are spending, you know, every day of the week, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, looking for work. So that is just part of the world that you're in. So you have to, even after you've gotten work, you are still looking for work. Okay? So that is what is different about our life compared to the regular world, is you never stop auditioning, you never stop looking for more work, you never stop the interviewing process. So you get really good at it, you know, because you're doing so many. If you're able to just keep that long game in mind, and keep in mind that it's not a matter of if you get this job or that job. All that matters in the acting world is that you go out there and you do what you think is the best possible job you can with the role that you're given for that audition. You go out there, you do the audition, you smash it, you make yourself look as good as possible, as professional as possible, and as, you know, as a nice, engaging person as possible, so that even if you are perfect for that role that you have been seen for, you may not get it for various other reasons, because you don't fit into the mesh of the cast as they've hired them, and that the director suddenly decided he wants to hire his niece for the role. All of these things happen, you know. There's tons of different reasons that the role won't go to you, even if you may be the best actor for it. So you have to go in with the long game idea of, okay, I went out there, they saw me, they know I can do my job, they know I am a quality actor, and that the next time they call me in, they're going to push for me even harder because they've already seen me once, and if I go in and I nail it again, they're going to be like, look, this guy's got the tools, hire him, or be stupid. So that's what you go in with, the hope is that, okay, the more you go in, the more that they see you, the more that once that perfect role does come around, that is definitely your role, and there's no way they can take it away from you, that, okay, they're going to see you for that role, they're going to get you in for that audition, and there's going to be people in your corner pushing for you because they know you're great for that role, they know you're a good actor. Okay? Brainstorm makers. Do you have an eccentric nature show that displays your control acting? No, my eccentric nature channel is all just me and my herbs and such, being my fun, crazy self. So, I do have my website. If you want to see some of my other roles, I can play some other stuff here too if you want to, but my website is just my name. I'll type it out here for you. But you can go to my website and you can see some clips from some of the things I've done. I have some short films up there as well. Some commercials and other things. But yeah, I have a whole bunch of stuff on there that you can go check out if you want. If you want, I can bring up another thing if you guys want to see something else. Bring up another short one, maybe. I have to add another scene here. I'm going to have too many scenes here shortly. Woohoo! Media source. I have to find something else here. What do we want to watch? I'm going to have to find my folder now. Folder. Is it video? Show reel there. Yeah, I gotta find. I have to find where all my stuff is. Acting work. That's where I need to go to. There we go. Now I can find it. Okay. But yeah, I've been in. See you, Liz. Good, great to have you here. Bye, Janine. Jeannie. I'm still doing it, Janine. I don't know why. Ah. Okay. Let me bring this up here real quick. Where was I? Yeah. Is there a clip of that? Oh, okay. Just 4 minutes. Yeah, let's play this one here. Okay, so this is an independent film that I did. And it was actually shot over here, even though it's about Alcatraz. So here you go. Just a short little. This is basically the opening scene, which features a big monologue by me. So enjoy. If I can get it to play. Here. Maybe. No? Doesn't want to do it? There we go. Woohoo! Alcatraz. Bum, bum, bum. Yes, I am the warden of Alcatraz. That was a fun one. I enjoyed doing that role. But I was just thinking during the break there while I was letting you guys watch that, is that one of the other interesting aspects of being an actor that's really different from regular working world is that you have to learn how to embrace the chaos, or basically embrace change, embrace the unexpected, because a lot of what you do, because of the fact that you are having to audition all the time and you're having to continually look for new work, is that sometimes stuff will come up at the last minute and you have to be ready to be like, oh, you got a call. Can you come up and audition today in like an hour or 2 hours or something? But you have to suddenly go, oh, yeah, okay, I can do that. Let me go. And get yourself ready and boom, 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 get up there to go audition. And that'll happen. Sometimes that'll happen. Or a lot of times you'll get the information and they go, okay, here's the sides that you have to learn, these 3 pages of material for the audition, which is tomorrow or the next day. And you're given very short time frame to get you ready for it. And that'll happen, you know, with all different kinds of projects all the time, that you have to just be ready on a moment's notice to just jump and go and make it happen. So, yeah, it's one of the aspects that you really have to get used to as an actor, is being used to going, okay, let me get used to jumping and ready to go whatever the acting world decides to throw at me, because you never know what it's going to be sometimes. And auditions are kind of the same way, that sometimes when you're in an audition, you may nail it and be perfect for it, and they'll have you do a second take and just have you try something else just to see how you react to it. And I remember getting tripped up by that early on, where I would go and I would go into an audition and I would do it the way I wanted to do it, or I thought it should be done. And then they go, oh, try this. I'm like, oh, God, I haven't even thought about trying it that way. And I'd do it and I'd come out and go, gosh, what the heck was that? And then you come to learn that sometimes directors will do that. They'll just be like, we want to see how you handle the pressure. We want to see how you handle direction. Then see if you can take direction immediately and just deal with it and go with it. Because that's part of what you need to do, is on the day, you may think you know how the role is going to go, but then when you get there, the circumstances, the space that you're in, or things may get changed. So you may have to change the script at the last minute. All different kinds of things, even when filming, can get changed at the last second before you go on the screen. So you have to be ready to be like, okay, let me jump on in there and deal with it, because you never know. It could, what it's going to throw at you. It can be something completely different. So you have to be ready with not only what you think the role should be, but you also have to have in mind, okay, what else could be played when you're doing this role? If I think this role needs to be done serious, can it be taken silly? Can it be taken, sad? What are some other directions or angles that they may throw at you to try? So you always have to be ready for all these curveballs they may throw at you. And the more you're ready for them, the more one that still comes out of left field, ready to hit you in the back of the head, you can still be ready and be like, oh, aha, no problem, I can still catch that. Okay. So yeah, that's, I think, is just another one of the other reasons that people who don't understand the world say that it's a really hard industry. And I think they also say it's really hard because of the numbers game, because there's so many people that want to be actors and out there trying for jobs and stuff. And it is a little bit hard because of that, just because, like I said, there's lots of bad actors that get hired for jobs because they know how to market themselves or they appease the right people. And that's, one of the sad parts of the game. But, at the end of the day, if you're a really good actor and you're professional and you're a good person and you know how to put yourself out there correctly, you're going to get work. You're going to be able to continually keep working. And the more you persevere at it, the more those numbers will drop off more and more, and the less competition you'll have. So like in my category where I'm at right now, I don't think there is that much competition. I think I am in a really good place for where what I have to offer and who the people I have to audition against. So yeah, but to me, I'm like, that's just part of the way the world is, and you just come and you have to learn how to accept that and not be jaded by it or not be, overly consumed by it. And it's the same thing with the whole audition thing of having a short memory, that you don't think of, hey, V. Honey. Yeah, V. Honey. Haven't seen you for a bit. Nice to see you. I was just talking a little bit about the acting world. But yeah, one of the things is that it's all about, whatever aspect is about learning how to deal with the chaos, deal with whatever the world wants to throw at you, because that is one of the main thing that's different from the acting world compared to the regular 9-to-5 working world. 9-to-5 working world, you know that you're going to get a job, you're going to your job, you're going to get paid for that job, and your job's going to end at a certain hour for the most part. I mean, there's 9-to-5 jobs where they still put in overtime and other things like that, but in the acting world, you don't know if you're going to be doing a 10-hour day tomorrow. You don't know if you're going to be doing a 3-hour day tomorrow sometimes. You don't, some days you may go in and you will work 1 hour and get, paid 1,000. Some days you'll go in and work 12 hours and get paid 100. So, you just don't know a lot of times what you're going to get and have to deal with until the day you're there. And so you have to be, and the same thing happens with the auditions. The same things happens with hearing about the auditions. It's every single aspect of it has curveballs ready to come at you from left field that you don't expect, or come up at the last minute that you have to be ready for. So you always have to be on your toes, being like, okay, I'm ready for anything. I'm ready for anything. What you got? What you got? Okay, I can deal with that. I can handle that. What you got? What you got? Okay, I can handle that too. And just always be ready, no matter what the world wants to throw at you. So, that's if you can learn to do that as an actor, like I think we've done a pretty good job of, then you can continually get good roles, and you can continually get better at it. Yeah, so that is my world. That's what I deal with. It's obviously a little bit different with COVID right now, but I'm still doing a lot of those same things. I still go to the websites every day to see if any new jobs are posted that fit my casting type, and we'll put myself out there for them if I do fit that role. So it's a crazy world in a lot of ways, but actors, we are a different breed of people, and we're bred for this world, I think, and the more we're able to just understand that and deal with that, the easier our lives are, and the more we can just deal with the nuts and bolts of it and get those jobs in order to keep us going. Well, one of the things I was going to address that I kind of got sidetracked on was the deal of rejection. And the main thing I want to say, and just in case any actors decide to watch this, is that you don't ever think of it as rejection. Every audition that you do isn't about getting rejected. Every audition you do is about getting seen. Every audition you do gets you in front of a casting director. Maybe it's the same casting director or a former one, a new director. And every time you get seen and you do your job and you do it well, even if you don't get hired, they remember, okay? Maybe it'll take a couple times for them to remember enough for the right role to come along with them. But if you can get seen by a casting director and you do your job well, it may be 6 months, 9 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years down the line that they'll go, I saw this guy, he's perfect for this role, let me bring him in. And as long as you're still out there and you're still hustling, then if that role comes along, then boom, that role that you've been looking for falls in your lap because you've already laid the groundwork for it. That is what overnight success is. It's laying the groundwork through lots of different connections, lots of marketing, and trusting that it's not rejection, it's more foundation work in order to get yourself seen by more people. And so more people in the industry know you, more people in the industry trust you, and eventually that reputation gets around and you start getting hired on a more consistent basis because they know you've got the goods. And that's what it's about, is you get out there enough, you get seen by enough people know that you are professional, you are good at what you do, and that you're worth hiring. So that's what keeps a good working actor at the end of the day. And, yes, there's egos out there. Yes, there's divas out there. But the best working actors are all generally just really good, decent people because they know that they can't go out there and offend lots of different people. Things, will get heated sometimes, and some people, won't see eye to eye. But you learn how to deal with that in a professional way. And, you just keep it going, you keep it working. And for me, I don't see it as extra hard from other work. I saw doing a 9-to-5 job hard because of the mundanity of it and having to do the same thing day after day in some of the jobs I did, and it was just soul-sucking in that sense. I had to find jobs that fit more of my mentality because it is a different mentality from that. And so, some people love that kind of life, but for me it was like, this doesn't fit me at all. And so the chaotic nature of this fits my eccentric nature. So, boom, right back to it. But yeah, that is my world, essentially. Is there any other questions you guys want to ask or anything before I say sayonara and zip along my way and let you guys get on with your lives, whatever they're going to be today? Maybe, maybe not. I know there's a slight time delay on this, so I'm going to just keep talking until somebody throws a question out there or enough time has passed that I think no one's going to ask a question. So, yeah, thank you so much for sticking with me today. While I'm waiting, I guess I can do this. Quick promo. This Sunday, the top 15 herbs for anxiety. Be there or be square. Watch my new video. Woo! If you haven't seen them already, please check out the history of lavender or the benefits of lavender oil or the benefits of lavender tea. All my new videos that have been out recently, please check them out. Every view helps. Every like helps. If you haven't done it already, making sure you're hitting that like button and subscribing, hitting the bell. The bell is especially important if you want to watch my live streams, because if you don't have the bell on, a lot of times you don't know if I'm doing the live stream. So, I'll put a thing on the community tab, and I'll post these early enough that you know the live stream's coming up, and they tend to come up on the same day. I'm always doing my live stream whenever I can, the same exact time on Thursdays, so if you are around, you can find me. But otherwise, the bell. Yeah. Thanks so much, y'all. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you for sticking with me. And, yeah, I'm going to head on down the road. I enjoyed you said it every day. I'm hustling. Yep. That's our world. Hustle. Keep it going. All right, guys. You take care. Have a good one. Speaking of screwing, channel's doing good. I'm almost at 2,190 subscribers right now. Woohoo! Thanks, Brains.